Bands by the River, a podcast about happiness, music, and comedy.
All right. Welcome to Bands by the River. I'm Will.
I'm Miranda.
Today we're here with Fred Armisen, an amazing comedian, actor, producer, musician, and writer. Currently on tour doing his Comedy for Musicians, but Everyone is Welcome, which is a great inclusive title, and we are very excited to see your show. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to speak with us. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what projects you're working on.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you. Thanks for having me. And for people who are listening, I guess you might see a photo or a video of this, but we are in the same room, or we're outside. I'm so used to this being on, Zoom or like on some sort of a meeting app, and here we are in the same space. We're in San Antonio, Texas. My name is Fred Armisen. Thank you for the kind words. And I'm just working on this tour. I always want to keep busy, and I just love doing it. I love playing in Texas. I've played all over, but I've never been to San Antonio before, so this is my first time. So
welcome.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you
San
here.
Antonio.
Thank you.
We're very happy to have you here.
I'm very happy to be here.
You have inspired so many fits of laughter and so much happiness for me, and I'm sure for many others, through your comedy and music. We're definitely grateful for the opportunity to discuss happiness, music, and comedy with you today. Let's talk a little bit about music. How did you get into making and playing music?
Well, I think like everybody, we all grew up on music, and either our parents or our friends introduced us to records. But for me, I always I disappeared into music, like listening to music in a way that was like I just wanted to only exist in my records. Mm-hmm. And then when I started seeing bands on TV, it even made more sense. And I was like, oh, this is, especially the visual ones, bands who had like good visuals and not good aesthetics, but like interesting aesthetics. Mm-hmm. And from there, I was just hooked. There was like no question. There wasn't like, I wonder if I'll get into comedy and music. It was like, that is absolutely where I want to be. And it was like that sort of gray area. I can't even call it a gray. I'll call it a green area of where some bands, like, they're not comedy bands, but there's something about them that's like kind of funny. Bands like Devo and mm-hmm. Talking Heads. And then, with comedy stuff that's kind of musical, where like bands like, with like, if I saw something like Spinal Tap, somewhere in there is where I wanted to be.
Nice. I think my first introduction to music mixed with comedy was Ray Stevens from my mom.
Wow.
And he had a lot of funny stuff, but it was all musical. He's a great musician, but everything was just ridiculous. There was a song about a streaker and a song where he was just clucking like a chicken, but it was it was so good,
Yeah.
And the Jerky Boys was another one where they
How
make prank
funny
phone
was
calls.
that?
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
God,
so good.
That was so funny that one time a friend of mine, I was in a van, was telling me one of the Jerky Boys bits, mm-hmm. and I hadn't heard it, but he was doing a good impression of it, and I laughed so hard that I had to pull the van over. Because when you laugh and you cry a little bit and there's salt in your eyes from sweat, sometimes the sweat like stings my eyes. Uh-huh. So he was telling me this. He was doing one, I don't know which one he was doing, something about like a plumber or something, and I just pulled, it was so funny. But yeah, Jerky Boys were great.
Yeah, definitely. You have a question?
Oh yeah, so since our podcast is about happiness, music, and comedy, we thought you would be the perfect guest because we associate you with all of those things. So my question is, what role do you think happiness plays in being a successful comedian and musician?
Well, I can't really speak to anyone else's experience, because maybe for some other people, sadness or anger, maybe that's what fuels them with their comedy. But for me, happiness, it just feels like the way it works for me is that like seeing the things that I love make me happy to be alive. So that feeling of like just forgetting everything else and like, oh, I'm just happy to be alive. I can't believe that I get to see this singer or whatever. So that's what plays into it. And then I think of it the other way around. Like if I'm performing, I want people to feel happy to be alive. And then I also, when I see all their faces, I also want to feel like, oh, I love being alive. What a nice thing in life that I get to travel and then be in front of all these people, communicating with them.
Yeah, that kind of relates to another question I had, and I was going to ask you, do you do stand-up to make people happy or because it makes you happy?
It's like 50-50.
Yeah, okay.
It's both. And it's also like, it just feels like, yeah, I'd say 50-50 because it feels like an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
That makes sense.
And it's also like, I also don't go into it thinking that, oh, this is guaranteed to make them laugh. Like, these are just things that I find funny, or they're things that I'm sort of curious about. Mm-hmm. But I never go out there thinking, they're going to love it. They're really going to laugh at this. I hope so, but I don't go into it with that guarantee.
Do you ever have anxiety about how...
Never.
No? How do you do that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, performing, even on TV, never gave me anxiety.
Okay.
I just love it.
It's just like what you're supposed to do.
It's like a feeling.
Okay.
There's something logical about it. The first time I was ever on like network TV, and I had this like stand-up. I was there as a stand-up, doing this character, and as soon as the red light turned on, I felt relaxed, and I felt like, this is how I want it to be. This is how I want my day to go.
That's
Okay.
awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
and it shows you're very natural on stage. I mean, everything you do is just so funny and natural. I think that's why it's so funny sometimes.
Thanks for saying so.
You know, comedy is made to be funny, and to me, that's very similar, like, to when you say something to your friend to make them laugh or smile, and that moment can be more impactful when that friend is down about something. Have you ever purposely made any comedy? It's kind of going along with her question, but in hopes to cheer somebody up, or have you ever like pointedly made some comedy in order to lift spirits of some kind?
No, because I never know when something is gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
So if I've shot a TV show, it's not till months later, so I never know what the mood of the viewer is gonna be. So it's too impossible to predict.
Okay.
And I guess there's also the hope that if it doesn't it doesn't lift their spirits in that moment, that maybe later on they can think back on it and their spirits will be lifted. But wow, that's an interesting question. But it's almost like if I made a meal for someone, if I was a chef, I don't think in terms of like, oh, I hope this lifts their spirits. It's more like, yeah, I hope they like this and that they'll remember it, and hopefully this is the best way that I can do it. And yeah, it just goes from there.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a song or a band that you would recommend that has made you feel good or put you in a good mood, or something that you can say is you would listen to?
That's an
help
easy
you be
one. Only because like the band that's opening tonight, Def Rain, DEFRAIN, they're from Dallas, and I really fell in love with them a couple years ago, and someone recommended them to me, and I got kind of obsessed with their music. I couldn't stop listening to it, especially on planes. I'd put on my headphones and just listen to it and disappear into it. And so I've had them open shows for me before.
Awesome.
In different parts of the country. And then when I knew I was coming to Texas, they live nearby. I was like, oh, would you mind doing these shows? I gotta say, they really make me happy. Even when I heard their sound check, they put me in such a great mood. Also because like, they're kind of spooky, and I think when things are like a little Halloween-y or spooky or dark, that puts me in a good mood. Like I'll always
Awesome.
like if there are tombstones around or Dracula's around, I'm a happy person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. So what genre of music makes you the happiest?
I would say like
The Monster Mash.
Monster Mash, of course.
Sorry.
Right now, the writer who wrote Monster Mash is like, "What's so funny about my song?"
Cut that.
You know, that must be funny to be the writer of Monster Mash. To be like, I wanted people to enjoy it, but I didn't want it to be like the butt of a joke.
Aw.
But what genre? Wow. I would say punk.
Okay.
Punk rock, and somewhere where punk was either in like 1979, like after that very first wave. But I love Husker Du so much, someone else to say punk from Minneapolis in like 1985.
Specific.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
specific.
I like it.
Really,
Okay.
really sits well with me.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I believe that music and comedy have healing properties in a way. How do you think they play a role in helping to somebody heal, or how does music and comedy help us to feel better when we're down?
I think it just makes people feel less alone. So it's like, part of it is the experience of like watching a funny sketch or listening to a great song, but there's also the feeling of like, oh, I bet other people like this song or this sketch. So you're sort of like with them, even if you're alone in your house, you're sort of in an audience with a group of people, so you feel less alone.
Oh, definitely. Like when you're laughing at stuff and you're like, there's other people out there laughing at this. Like, I'm not alone, and it feels good to enjoy things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a couple more questions. So we
Don't
have
worry,
much
we're
more
doing
time.
okay. We're doing
Okay.
okay.
So I feel like every time I'm watching something funny, there's always a Fred Armisen cameo.
Oh, wow.
So my question to you is, if there is not a Fred Armisen cameo in the movie that I'm watching, is it even a comedy?
Well, my answer is that that cameo is still there. You're not looking deeply enough
we didn't look
into
hard
the.
enough.
You got to look deep into the background, to the trees. Look at the taxis you're driving by. You're just not looking closely enough.
You're right. What was I thinking? You're too good. So how are you in everything? Are you just like a pleasure to work with, and people just are like, Fred, please come back. Please work with us.
I think that like I'm lucky that I am friends with people who are making great things. So if it turns out that it's something that Will Forte made or Bill Hader, it's just people who are, we know each other, so we're happy working together. And then there's like this other little technical thing where I feel like I shine most if I make a quick appearance. If I was like a character who's always there and in the room, it doesn't work as well as me just peeking through the door. I don't know why that is. I'm glad about it, It makes my work days easier. But it's just one of those things where like there's like, I'm not looking to, not that I don't mind being in things, heavily. It's more that's like the chemistry of it. Just a little quick hello, and and I'm good, and I don't know. It's like sort of almost feels a little bit like I'm still in the party. I'm still there,
It's fun for me to like see you like, oh hey, look, is that Fred Armisen?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Like,
And the way you play things sometimes is so nuanced, it doesn't take long for it to be funny. It's just
Oh, that's
funny
nice of
immediately.
you. That's
It's
nice
like,
of you to say.
It's just like, I don't know, facial expressions and stuff. So yeah, it's really cool.
Thanks.
I lied. I said I had 2 more questions, but
Okay,
I actually
good.
have 3 more questions.
Okay.
Okay, so my second to last question is, who are your top 3 favorite comedians?
Top 3 favorite comedians. Let's see.
It doesn't have to be all time, we're not leaving anybody out here. It could just be whatever top 3 make you feel good, or at the moment.
Tim Heidecker.
Okay.
Dana Carvey.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All the listeners out there know now what's funny and what's not.
That,
no, I'm
that-
just
yeah.
kidding. No, thank you for that. Can you remember a time when making or performing comedy or music was rewarding for you emotionally or spiritually in some way?
I think since the very beginning, the first time I ever learned a chord or learned a beat on the drums, it's always been really rewarding. Immediately. And then yeah, just get any joke if I've made any, if I've made my dad laugh or my mom laugh, I was into it.
Yeah, music is rewarding immediately for me as well. I still play the piano. I'm not a great musician and I'm not serious, but I play it. I still have one, and it's always enjoyable when I can go up there and play music, sight read something, you know. I enjoy making music.
It's like a magic trick a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a skill that everyone can enjoy.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun because it's kind of intuitive if you can just hit the notes. Like everybody has music inside of them waiting to come out, you know. So it's fun.
And then the instrument itself also wants to be played. It's like, hey, I'm on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody, you know, make some chords.
I've seen you play so many different drums, and that looks so fun. I mean, I like to play drums, but who doesn't, right?
It's the best instrument.
Really? I mean, there's so many kinds of drums. How can it not be the best instrument?
They look cool, and they're just, you know, they're just great.
Yeah, a band without drummer? I don't know about that.
So my final question is, so I know you're a really great voice actor. You're like in
You're so nice
cartoons and stuff. I really love that. So my question to you is, can you give me 3 easy steps to go from being an attorney to being a cartoon voice actor? 3 easy steps.
You mean like to get a job as a voice actor?
Yeah, to become a voice actor.
I would say, really make yourself available to do it. So like, just as opposed to like waiting around, like just let people know you're doing it. Like, I think there's something magic about proclaiming something and then all of a sudden watching those sparks turn into something. So if you were like, I'm a San Antonio voice actor, and you just keep telling people and sort of like start making your way, all of a sudden it really starts happening.
Okay.
So, you know, if just as in the same way that like, if I was like all of a sudden like, I'm an architect, I really want to get into architecture, if I said it enough, I think after a while someone kind of goes, you know, there is this part of the museum that we need someone to help design. And we, you know, whatever, we can't find anybody. What would be your ideas? And all of a sudden you're sort of doing
it. I like that.
Yeah. It comes from like, I think most people are too lazy to do research. So like, instead of going through like, who is the architect we're going to find, they're just like, I don't know, Fred just said he's an architect, but I just saw him. So I think the same thing would go for like someone being a voice actor.
Yeah, okay.
You're not going to go through what, you know.
I have another one while you're looking.
Yeah,
which era of history do you think you would have been happiest in?
That's easy. 3010.
Why 3010?
Because I think isn't that when they're planning to have, there's the blood tests that you don't have to do intravenous, like they get it from, I think by then we're going to do like a light that can read your health just like through. No, I'm just.
That would be amazing.
and then, you know, there's the flying cars that just come out of the palm of your hand that just sort of.
Out of your
like
briefcase.
Like the Justin's briefcase?
Yeah,
but
and
like just right out of your hand.
Where matter
you
can change in size,
the
and you just sort of like make things happen. And I think we control the weather more then, right?
Yes, definitely.
3010 is, I think, that's more of a like you
I think that's Weather 2.0 is released in 3000.
3000? Yeah, 3000. So by 2010, we've got a handle on it.
Nice.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering that.
Okay, so let me ask you a few questions about where and when can people see you perform next?
Austin tomorrow. I think I've got some New York area shows coming up. I think I've got, I think in December, maybe some Pacific Northwest stuff, and England, hopefully, November.
Wow.
Yeah, so just, you know, here and there, everywhere.
Nice. Are you working on any projects that you want to talk about or mention?
You know, yes and no. Like I feel like I'm always working on something, but the moment it starts coming out of my mouth, when I talk about it, I just sound like I'm pitching. So I'm like, oh, let me just. You'll see it. You're like, you know, I'll have. Hopefully, stuff will get made. But if I start going like, well, I'm working, it's just like it's too abstract.
Okay.
At the moment, yeah.
Well, tell everybody your social or where they can find you on the web, so that way they can follow you and go to your next show and see your next project.
I'm at bestbuy.com. No, it doesn't matter. Just whatever. Here. We can find me here.
That's right.
Here at Paper Tiger tonight.
That's right.
And also here in this interview, in this podcast. So,
That's right.
Yeah. I'm all about the present. Yeah.
Well, thank you for being present here with us today. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's very kind of you to take time
Oh,
out
my
today.
pleasure. Thanks for coming all the way out here. It's really hot today.
Yes, it is. All right, we're off to enjoy the show.
All right. Woo!
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We did it, you guys.
We did. Thank you.
Bands by the River, a podcast about happiness, music, and comedy.